Rhok!
What's up, guys? Coming out of school, out fucking around a little bit. I'm gonna head into work a little bit early, but I'm gonna go home and get changed and take a shower and, you know, generally wash the cut above costumes. It had a fairy on it. I bet it's like Ren Fair costumes shit. Ren Fair is huge here in Texas. I don't know if any of you are into Ren Fair, Renaissance Festival type things. We actually have the biggest one in the country is here in Texas. I live in Austin, and within an hour of me, there are, is it 3? It might be 4 large Renaissance festivals. I'm gonna get run over by the truck, I know it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go this way and turn around so that I don't get run over by that truck. Because I don't feel like it. I just loop around like this. Yeah, I don't think that's technically legal. In fact, I'm not at Speedy Tacos and More. I'm gonna have to try that place out. Chips and salsa, huh? Could eat the hell out of some chips and salsa. Bikers, welcome. I should go back. Oh, so yeah, man. What is this? What are you? That's a ugly chick dressed as the Statue of Liberty. So I'm in class and doing MIG welding right now. Started out on 0.045 dual shield. It's not too bad, not too bad. I know most people are like, oh, MIG welding's really easy. Well, it is really easy, but you gotta understand that I now have under my belt about 4 hours total. So, I mean, I'm getting a little better, but it isn't what I would call easy yet. To me, easy was oxy fuel, welding with an oxyacetylene torch. I could make that shit look like a robotic TIG if I, you know. All I'd have to do is practice a little bit, kind of work the kinks out, work the rust out of my technique. But I was damn good doing that. I think I ended that class with 107%. That was my grade, 107%. How did I get above 100%? I'm just that damn good. No, there was I had 100%, and then there were a couple little extra credit things that you could do. I got 100 on every test except one. I got a 98 on. Oh, so check this out. Speaking of good grades, I dropped out of high school. I dropped out of high school. When I was in high school, I cared about getting wasted, and getting laid, and riding my skateboard. That was it. That was the extent of my worries when I was in high school. I did not give a shit. And you know, I didn't, so as you can imagine, I didn't do so well in school. It wasn't like my goal in life. And about a week after I turned, I guess 17, when you're legally allowed to sign yourself out of school, an English teacher gave me some bullshit, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. And I got up and I walked out of class. I walked down, signed myself out of school, dropped out. You know, so I was, you know, to like the more academic-minded, well-behaved students, I was a loser to them, honestly, you know. And looking back, although I really hated them for thinking of me that way, and honestly, the fact that they thought I was a loser might have had something to do with why I was such a fuck up. You know, hey, if people expect it, you know, and I've always been kind of rebellious, like, fuck you, don't fucking tell me what to do. And that shit happens today. So, them being like, oh, well, you know, why don't you listen to the right music, wear the right clothes, and study the right way and be like us. And I was like, I don't want to, I could not want to be like you less. You know, I hated these people because they made my life miserable, and I did my best to make their life miserable, so it's kind of a never-ending cycle there. Any trains coming? No? Yeah. Don't want to get run over by a train either. So in review, I don't want to get run over by a truck or a train. I know. I ask a lot. I ask a lot out of life. Anyway, so I was basically, I was a fuck-up loser, dropped out of high school, always wasted, going out with dirty girls. I was in high school, teaching was a lot different than it is today, and they knew a lot less than they do today about teaching people who have different learning styles. That's one of the other problems, is I don't learn the same way as other people. In some ways I learn easier than a lot of people, but in many ways it's a lot harder for me to learn certain things. And I don't think it's that it's harder, it's that it's hard to find the right way for me to learn things. I don't know if you guys can understand all what I'm saying there. It's just, when I hone in on the right way to learn it, I'm like, oh, and then it's easy. But a lot of times I'll struggle to learn something, just trying to learn how to learn it. And there isn't a whole lot of rhyme or reason to how I learn things, other than the fact that pretty much everything I learn at least ever so slightly differently than the way everybody else learns it. So that kind of makes things suck, and that's part of why I did so poorly in high school, because when I was in high school, it was like, well, if you can't learn this way, there's no other way to learn, you're just dumb. So I was written off as dumb. Anyway, so let me get to my point, finally. I've done extremely well in college so far. My grade point average is like a 3.9. And, that's without me really trying that hard. The only class I'm genuinely trying in is welding and sort of math. But I got an A in English. I hate English. Oh god, I fucking hate English. But I got an A in English. And I blame my A in English to the fact that, one, I post on the internet a lot. So I have a vocabulary. And because of the internet grammar Nazis, I've learned how to speak well when I have to. And the fact that I married an editor. My wife was an English major in her undergrad degree. Master's in publishing and writing, or publishing and editing. I think it was publishing and writing. So she gets on my shit a lot about, how I write. So I to begin with, I wrote better papers than most of my class, just because of that advantage. But then I would have my wife, and I kind of felt like this was cheating, and I never really clarified if this was cheating, but I would have my wife edit all my papers. So, it helps when you write a paper, and then you have someone who's been an editor for, 17, 18 years, and has a master's in it, editing your papers. It kind of helps a little bit. Like I said, I kind of feel like that might have been cheating, but, whatever, fuck it. So I got a postcard in the mail the other day from so my wife is in Phi Beta Kappa, which is, it's an honor society, 4-year degree honor society. I get a postcard from Phi Theta Kappa, which is, I don't know if it's a lower level of Phi Beta Kappa or what, but it's not a fraternity or anything. It's a society, but it's an honor society, and I am invited to join. They want me to come to their introduction meeting. So the moral of the story is, I have somehow gone from this loser, doing drugs, dropping out of school, banging slutty chicks, skateboarding, that hasn't stuck with me later in life and given me things to talk about with my therapist. I'll take the rapists for 500. That's therapists. What so's the rapists? Anyway, yeah, so I've gone from this basically loser to, in college, in a nationally recognized honor society. That's pretty awesome. I don't know how to feel about it. On one hand, I'm kind of like, yeah, whatever. On the other hand, I kind of am like, man, I kind of feel pretty proud. I'm like, you know, it's kind of a little personal FU to all the people that always said that I fucking, you know, was an idiot. I haven't really, the ones that said I'd never amount to anything, I guess I haven't really proven them wrong yet. But damn it, I'm gonna. I just wish it didn't take me until, you know, being, well, I mean, somebody asked the other day, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm fucking 40, man. It took me until being 40 years old to get my shit together as much as I have. So I'm hoping that by the time I'm 50, I am actually a productive member of society and not just some asshole. Although I kind of like being some asshole. You know. Anyway, I'm almost home, guys, so I'm gonna sign off for now and talk to you guys later.
You breathe.